All right, last team breakdown, shake and bake. My boy Nate and your team. Man, my boy was a gambler in the draft, and you'll see what I'm talking about once I start reading off some of these names that he's got. Gambler in the draft. Some have paid off handsomely, and others not so much. So we'll go through right quick. Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff are your QBs. I actually don't mind either of those. I think both of those are like tier 2 QBs right now in the league. And even though you don't have a premier quarterback on your team, you do have two really good quarterbacks in the top half, so top 16. I put both of them. So Ezekiel Elliott, running back, one of the risks that definitely paid off. Marlon Mack from Indy, out of Indy, had a monster game last week against the Chargers, man. So I'm thinking that those are just two really good running backs. I think you may have the best 1-2 punch at running back. I'd have to go back and look, and I really don't have the time to right now. But love your running backs right now, man. Cooper Kupp, the wide receiver, and Devontae Parker with Miami. Man, both of those are just weak sauce, bro. And we'll get into why that's who you're having to start. I get it. Looking at your bench, man, I get it. But you got to upgrade this position. I'm surprised for you to have started out 0-1. You should have gone out and picked up Hollywood Brown. You should have gone out and picked up John Ross. I think Chark was available. I'm not sure. I know Colton has him now, but I would reach out to Colton. See if maybe he's got a lot of receivers. See if he's interested maybe in somebody like Tony Pollard's really a handcuff. Man, that's the problem with your team right now, man. I don't know if I'm starting anybody off your bench because your bench is weak. And there's a reason for that. I get it. But, man, I don't know, man. Maybe dropping Tony Pollard, trying to pick up somebody that has some value and packaging them with another receiver. Right now, Cooper Kupp and Michael Gallup, those are your two wide receivers for me. Devontae Parker, 3 for 75 yards, only 7 yards after the catch. I'm not loving him, man, on a Miami team that is just not good. Austin Hooper, tight end, I do like that. Although Delaney Walker going up against Indy, that might be a better matchup than Philadelphia. Although, Philly, they're both at home. It's a toss-up. I'm okay with either one. Hooper put up 16.7. Delaney put up 22.5. They both had really good first games. So your tight end game's strong. Maybe even moving – honestly, dude, maybe moving Gallup into the second wide receiver spot, sitting Parker and starting two tight ends. I can't think of another team that I would say that to, but I would probably say that for you. That's what I would do. I would sit Parker, start Gallup at wide receiver 2, start both tight ends. Jared Goff, I like it, and then Jaguars. Going up against Houston, man, I don't love the Jaguars going up against Houston. I'd probably, you've got some people on your bench who you can get rid of. So I would probably pick up another defense for this week. All right, going to your bench, man, Antonio Brown. That is rough, bro. That's rough. You gambled with Zeke, and it paid off. You gambled with Marlon Mack, and it paid off so far from both those. But Antonio Brown, man, wow, just like the roller coaster, man. I will say this. Look, if I know he's got a lot of legal issues. I don't know. He was in practice Wednesday. He's healthy. He wants to play. I know he's got this off the field stuff. I don't know if he can play this second week. I think he's eligible. If you don't want to start two tight ends, here's what I do. I'm sitting Parker either way, and I'm moving Gallup to wide receiver 2. So your flex is open. For me, with your flex open, the only options for you are Delaney Walker, so you're playing two tight ends, or you play Brown. And if he plays, he could go off, man. He's probably the best player at his position in the entire league. He's better than OBJ. Take that, Will. Just your bench is not good, man. You got. I don't even want to read off these players because they really should all be gone. They should all be gone. Let's see. Kute, whatever. Kiki. I don't even know how to say his name. He didn't even play last week. Oh my gosh. Only 10 points for Ronald Jones. He's not even the best player in his position on that team. Riley Ridley put up nothing. Nothing against the Packers. Tony Pollard, he was a handicap, bro. Or a handcuff. That means you can let him go. You can let him go. Look, man, your team's got a lot of wild cards on it, bro. 2 of them have worked out, Zeke and Mac. I'm getting rid of everyone on your bench for someone else, except for Delaney Walker and Antonio Brown. And Golden Tate. Golden Tate's suspended. That'll be big. When he comes back, I think he's, week 5, he's due back, so you only got 3 more weeks to ride it out. But you could be in a 1-3 hole by then, bro. You got to improve that bench. But your starters look good. Your starters overall look good. And you know what? Ultimately, that's all that matters. So maybe you make it to the bye weeks. You get Golden Tate going. Maybe Antonio Brown finally just puts all the crap behind him and plays football and plays well. You know he's in a good offense. So I don't know, man. It's a gamble. I don't like you next week. We'll get into that into your team break or your matchup breakdown. But I really just don't love your team. I don't hate it. I think there's just a lot of wild card teams or wild card players on there, and it's going to be a roller coaster ride. I know that your team is definitely going to be one of the more fun ones to watch. So we'll see what happens.